Why, hello there. What are you doing? You look a little nervous. Is it 'cause of the scars? Well, don't worry. You don't have to be so serious. See, I know why you are here. You are bored and decided to listen in on this weird guy sitting in a room by himself, doing whatever, recording himself talking to a microphone, in hopes that, oh, well, you would improve your English, but, you know, everyone always wonder why you're so crazy. Why don't you just talk in a regular voice? And to that, I asked them, why so serious? I just want people to be a little bit entertained because, maybe their days are a little bit hard. They get tired of working, of listening to the coworkers or the bosses. They just want something fun while hoping they could, how do you say, improve their English. See, why not just smile a little bit more? So, what's up, everyone? Happy Halloween. Uh, I, I guess I'm not. Well, I'm not really dressed up. I mean, I got a Batman shirt on underneath, but you know, we're not like 10 or 15 year old. We don't like candy. We don't want you know to be giving out little kids diabetes or getting it diabetes ourselves. So yeah, we're not going out to trick or treat. Um yeah, I guess I'll explain what trick or treating means. So trick or treating is this, I guess, tradition, this routine, this thing that, just like Christmas, that everyone, well, most people, especially the young kids, do on October 31st, 4月31号, which is Halloween Day. And what people do is, little kids, they'll dress up as, ooh, I'm Pennywise, or I don't know, the clown from it, whatever. They'll dress up and in their favorite costume, or they'll try to be creative, whatever. And then what they do is they go around to anywhere, preferably their neighborhood, because it's close by. They knock on someone's door, you know, um, and when whoever is inside, they open their door. The kids will say trick or treat, and then the whoever opened the door, whoever's house it is, they're like, "Hey, what's up, guys? You want some candy?" No, they don't do that, but they just say, "Oh, hey, I got candy. Take a couple. What you guys want?" So, and then they'll bring out a big bowl of candy. Now, see, okay, if you're a smart kid, right, and you want all the candy, you want the best candy, right? Not just the crappy gummy bears. You want like the Snicker bars. You want the Nerds candy. You want, I don't know, Twix, all those good, delicious, chocolatey or high end, more expensive candy. If you're one of the smart kids, you'll go to the biggest house, right? Because if it makes sense, the bigger the house, the more money the owner probably has, the more money they have, the more likelihood they got money in the bank. And if they got money in the bank, they're probably more willing to spend a little bit of it. So they'll probably buy some good candies, You know what I'm saying? So when you go to one of those big houses, the likability, the probability of you getting some candy, some good candy, is very high. Okay, so and then they take a couple, right, and then they go off into the next door and they knock on the door or ring the bell, ding dong dong dong, and then hopefully they get more candy. Now what they do is they carry like a big bag, or they'll carry like this plastic pumpkin, they can throw their candy in, and then at the end of the night, right, they're like they dump all the candy on the bed and they start counting how much they have, and then they start eating some of it. Some crazy kids, they'll eat all of it that one night. Some a little bit smarter ones will spread it out so they got candy for like the next couple months instead of eating it all at once. Okay, so now here's the thing, right? Nowadays we live in a weird society. Um, I would say if you're in the Asian culture, it's less dangerous to do this type of stuff as kids, especially by yourself. Now, if you have like a parent with you or like a teenager with you, which is most likely the case, like your big brother or sister that don't want to spend their Halloween night taking their little kids or little siblings, their little younger brother or sister out and be a babysitter, essentially watch over them, then it's safer. But in Asia, most of the people won't do anything. I mean, there are some creepers here and there, but for the most part, the culture is, it's more safe. You can walk out in the middle of the night, whatever, get some xiaoye, get some food to eat at the street, and you're probably not going to get kidnapped. Now in America, that's a little different story, or in Europe or whatever, because there are some creepy guys out there, all right, or girls. Okay, it's not just one gender. Okay, uh, and there are a lot of these. Man, this podcast is not supposed to be all negative. All right, I don't want to go into too much detail, but essentially, there are weird people out there that kidnap children, and they do some bad stuff. Okay, they either sell them, they either you can use your imagination. All right, they do some bad stuff. Okay, so if that's the case, this is what you gotta do as a kid, right? If you're like I want to get the candy, but then it's like I don't want to get kidnapped because I want to go home and be able to eat my candy that night and the future nights. So what you do is, first of all, you don't knock on the doors that don't have the lights on. Okay, the outside porch lights, the lights to the outside that shines on the door. If those are shining, that's a good sign. That means whoever is in there has candy to give out, and that is probably safe. They're not doing some illegal stuff in there probably, because why would they want, if they were doing illegal stuff, why would they want kids to come knocking on the door and being exposed? Okay, so that's one. So you want to look for the lights are open. Okay, and then secondly, you gotta look like if the front yard is like all messy, all dirty, if it smells weird, if you see like actual spider webs and bats, whatever, don't go to those. Okay, even though there are some super predators, super creepers that they might be normal, right? But they keep very good clean lawn, whatever, just to lure people in, But for the most part, the better the house looks, the safer it is. Okay? All right. Let's not go into too much about that. Remember, we're trying to keep this positive. We're trying to just learn from it, whatever. Okay, so That's the thing, right? And if you're the family that wants to give out candy, then that's what you gotta do. You gotta turn your porch light on, or else nobody's gonna come to your house and trick or treat. That's what happened, like, I guess last year, when I kind of forgot about that because I haven't been in the States for a while, and I kind of forgot about how Halloween was supposed to go. And so we didn't turn on our lights at home, and nobody showed up. Like, none of the kids show up. So which is good, because I don't want to see little kids. Like, I just don't. I don't know why, but I just don't. Okay. So now, going back to, remember when I said about, the older siblings, the older brother or the older sister, not wanting to babysit. Now, here's why. That is because they want to go party. What kind of party in specifically, or in specific terms? They want to go to a costume party. Now, for guys, why do guys want to go to parties? Well, they just want to go to party because, drink, socialize, whatever. And they can see las señoritas all dressed up, all pretty and everything, right? And the reason why is, and also why the girls go, is because Halloween is the one night that they have a kind of excuse, not really excuse, but there's more reason for them to dress in a more seductive, in a more revealing, which means it shows more of their body, uh, and they can, be really good looking or attractive, whatever, right? So the girls go there because they want to be attractive, and I'm not gonna say it, but they probably want to, lure some guys too, or get some attention, right? And then the guys go because, well, there are girls that do that, so they're, it's like a win-win situation, So that's Halloween party, basically. And dang, your boy really wants to go to one, but I'm over here doing a podcast for you all, so y'all better appreciate it. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. So okay, that's it. That's a little Halloween thing, and I hope you guys, have fun with that. But all right, so I'm gonna transition to our more even important topic of the day. And one of the listeners, um, uh, they had a suggestion for the video, right? So I might have already covered this in one of my previous podcasts that I did, and that one was chatting with Americans, right? But I think it's a good idea to kind of focus on that a little bit more, because at the end of the day, it's very important. Now, I'm sorry if I'm talking a little bit fast, because these podcasts, as you know, are still very in the beginning phase, right? It's very experimental. I'm testing things out. Now, I think this podcast, I am talking a little bit fast, okay? A little bit faster than what I would suggest for some certain people who are trying to learn the language, because if I am talking too fast, then they might not be able to understand everything that I am trying to say. But we'll see how it goes, okay? So the topic that the listener was talking about was, how do you introduce yourself in like a 4 to 5 minute window, in a 4 to 5 minute time slot, right? How do you introduce yourself? Let's say if you had to, if you go to this conference, you just joined a new club, a new Sichuan, whatever. Okay, and then you're nervous, you don't know anybody, and then whoever's like the leader of the group, they're like, okay guys, so you guys don't know each other, so what we're gonna do is first introduce yourself. Tell me your name. Tell me what you like to do, and we'll take turns going around in circles. Okay, who does anyone want to start? Oh, nobody want to start. Okay, then I will start. So my name is Billy Bob, and I'm from Florida, and I like to go to nightclubs and party and everything. Okay, yeah. Okay, who's next? You. Okay, you go. And so it's a very I guess nervous filled situation. It makes people nervous because you're in this place and you don't know anyone and nobody knows you yet. um the first impression is very important. First impression means the first thing that uh allows the other people to think about you in a certain way, or kind of view you as a certain way, see you as a certain way. So first impression is very important because that's how they remind or remember of you, like who you are as a person within like the first 30 seconds. Okay, so um everyone's nervous, but this is very important, right? Because for the, like I said, the first impression, you want to let people know that, okay, you're someone that people would like talking to, that someone would be interested in, someone who is intrigued about you. They want to know more about you because you seem like a fun, friendly person. Okay, all right, give me 1 sec. I gotta sip water. Okay, remember, this is all in one take, no edits. Okay, except if I have to go to the bathroom like really bad. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm just drink some water. I need to stay hydrated. Okay, so how do we do this now? If it's like a speech thing where you have to talk in front of everybody for like 4 to 5 minutes, then it's a little bit longer, right? You have more time to kind of introduce yourself, to talk about yourself, or talk about anything. So okay, how should people handle or tackle this subject? So very it's very easy. If you think about it, when you read a book, when you watch a movie, when you listen to certain song, right? When you watch or when you look at a certain poster, a certain image, a picture, what makes you want to keep looking at it? Want you to keep listening to it? What catches your eye? Catches your eye means what gets your attention. Of course, how interesting it is. Uh uh um how right off the bat it gets you wanting more. So this applies to when you introduce yourself, right? The first things that you say when you're introducing yourself, if you want to make a big impact, is you have to say something that is interesting, that is not boring, that is not the same as what everyone would say, not the same format, not the same ideas, not the same word usage. You want to try to spice things up. You want to change things so that it works in your favor. Okay? So, and a good way to do this is by adding personality, by adding your characteristics into what you say. So, this is what a lot of people would do if they were supposed to introduce themselves, right? I would say their name. So, my name is Peter Hung. Where they were born. I was born in Taiwan. Where they're studying at. I'm not studying anywhere, but I was in National Yangming University. Shout out to them. Um, and that's it. Or they'll just go in a very monotone voice. Hello, my name is Peter Hung, and I was born in Taiwan, and I went to Yangming University to study. I studied nursing, and yeah, that's it. Nice to meet you guys. What kind of stuff is that? That is so boring. That is so boring. Okay, so if it was you listening, would you want to be friends with that guy? Probably not, right? Probably not. Now, let's try something, right? So, um, just think about it. How is something cool? So maybe you can be like, hey, what's up, guys? My name is Peter. I come from this Asian country, Taiwan, which is like a little bit close to China, but we're not connected or anything. But I went to nursing school, but I was like, no, I don't really like that. But I still did it anyways, because I gotta get a job, gotta make money. But anyways, on my free time, I like to make these podcasts, right, that everyone can listen to and hopefully improve. And I like to make music. Recently, I've been posting like some music videos online, trying to record myself and whatever, trying to get myself and my music better so I can have more people listen to it. And then I also like to draw. So what's a good thing is I can draw the whatever artwork for my music, and then I can boom, 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 bada, boom, 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 post it on the same thing. I don't have to go out there and look for anyone to post that. But yeah, so I'm a very creative person. I like to do things that kind of make me think, that challenge my mind. I also like to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Shout out LeBron James. Come on, Lakers. You were wrong on that Shanghai stuff, whatever, being a hypocrite, but it's okay. You play basketball. I just watch you for basketball. I don't really watch you for your view stance, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's basically it. If you guys want to hang out, come talk to me after this meeting, and we can chill. So, obviously I kind of came up with a lot of that on the spot. So, well, I did come up with it on the spot, which means, at the moment I didn't think about it beforehand. So do you see how kind of that's a little more interesting? Now, I might have talked in a weird way that make people be like, who's this guy? He's weird. But the point is that it gets the people listening to you, They see, here's the thing, right? People can sense things from other people. If someone is nervous and anxious, others will feel it too. So if you ever watch a good speech, let's say if you take a speech class, right? The person who gives a good speech, they're not afraid when they talk. They're not they're stuttering. They're not saying like, so I was like doing something really cool the other day. Like I was just outside like making a snowman or something. Like when they're not talking in a very confident way, the audience can sense it. So my example kind of is showing how, okay, first of all, you gotta be confident, right? You gotta speak clearly, you gotta speak loudly. It doesn't matter if you're not pronunciating things in the right way, but you gotta speak with a loud tone, with some attitude, because people will sense that and they'll gravitate towards you. They'll you'll lure them in. They'll be intrigued. Okay, so okay, now let's get down to the nitty gritty, the more basics of it, the more detailed aspects. If you have to introduce yourself in 4 to 5 minutes, which is a pretty long time, right? Because for one, you're just talking out loud. Whoever's listening to you, they're not really kind of giving you a response back and forth. Normally in real life they would, so you can kind of use this to apply it the same way, but we're kind of incorporating this into like also like a speech, right? So what are some things you can say? Well, first of all, talk about what you're interested in. Talk about your hobbies. Talk about what you like to do on your free time. Now, why is that? Well, if you talk about something that you don't like to do, then first of all, you don't even know the ins and outs of it. You know, you don't know everything about whatever that is, so you have no content. You have nothing to say. But if it's something you love to do, you can literally talk about it forever, and you'll be confident about it because you're used to that. So if you're somebody who is into fashion, or is into makeup, doing makeup, whatever, or selling clothes, when you introduce yourself, you wanna talk about that stuff because you know a lot about it. You'll never run out of things to say, and you'll sound confident talking about it. And it's probably interesting, right? Um, what is interesting about each person is what usually they like to do. Okay, so it catches people's attention. So that is one. Okay, so you can go into the topic of kind of just you have to think outside of the box. Okay, you don't want to just say what everyone would say. So instead of saying instead of talking about something like what you do for a job, how much money you make, whatever, it's more interesting to talk about all the kind of the hard or the coolest part of your job, or the worst part of your job, or an opinion that you have. Okay, so I'm kind of drawing a blank here because I kind of feel like I'm repeating the same stuff, but actually I don't think I am. So let's keep going. So you want to make it interesting. You want to think outside of the box. You don't want to go with a formula, a formulaic sentence. So for example, like if it was me, let's say I had to give like a 45-minute speech. Let's just do, hey, how's it going, everyone? My name's Peter. 4 to 5 years ago, I went to my first year of university in America, and I finished that, and I was given an opportunity to go study abroad back in my hometown, Taiwan. So I thought about it. I I had forgotten about my Chinese, and but I was like, maybe I'll just go. If I fail, whatever, I'll come back home. It was a good experience. Okay. But I went to do it, and there were many things that were difficult. There were many things that were, I guess, well, it was nice. But in the end, I learned something. I learned that it's a very good experience for somebody young to go study overseas because they're on their own. They have to do everything themselves. It's not they can't really rely on their parents. Maybe financially, maybe through money, but in terms of doing like the laundry, doing all their chores, whatever, they have to do it by themselves. Okay. So, all right. What time is it? Oh snap. Okay, so this podcast is getting pretty long, right? So let's just end this, right? So, okay, 4 to 5 minutes of whatever you want to talk about. Yeah. So talk about what's interesting. If you come from a different country, talk about that. If you have a cool hobby, like a cool thing you like to do, talk about that. Let's say you like to raise animals and give them to little kids that don't have animals but they really want one. That would be cool. If you bake cookies and you give them out to people and they're very delicious, talk about that. Um, if you did something cool or something interesting happen over the weekend, like somebody came up to you and asked you out on a date and you were like blushing or whatever, talk about that. Okay, actually don't talk about that, but you get the point, right? So just think of stuff that is interesting, that's new, that's different, that you are interested in, okay? And just make sure you be confident. And whatever you say is good. As long as you just kind of are able to kind of keep talking about it. Yeah, that's it. You can kind of think about it this way. The way to get better at doing this is by doing it all the time. By talking to yourself out loud all the time. Or talking with someone. Because the more practice you get, the easier it is, the more connections your brain can make, essentially. Okay? Well, so yeah, that's it, guys. This is episode 10. We talked a little bit about Halloween. The question of the day is, type out or record yourself. Uh, you know, I, Tell me about yourself. Tell me who you are, what city you grew up in, your childhood. Tell me what you're studying or what you're working as. Tell me all your hobbies or one hobby, the thing that you like to do. Tell me what you do for that. And that's it. Just do that and try to copy me. Just ramble, blah blah blah. Do the best you can, all right, and sound confident. Okay. So this is Peter Hung. This is Improving Your English Speaking Podcast, episode 10. Happy Halloween, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.